All right, y'all, I thought I'd give you an update on the food forest. It's been several months since I did any kind of videos on what's going on out here. So let me give you a kind of a tour through, show you what we've got growing on here. So I guess we'll start in this section here. On this line right here, I've got 3 different cherry trees, a few different varieties there. Over here we got some banana, we got some Mexican sunflower. There was another banana over here that has died. More Mexican sunflower, banana, Mexican sunflower, banana. And then let's see, what do we got here? This is a Rainier cherry. This is a Lappin's cherry. And this one here is a Yankee, I don't know, something like that cherry. So a few different varieties of cherries. We'll see what actually does well here. We put these in about 3 or 4 months ago, and they're surviving fine. I'm not seeing a lot of new growth yet, but they're doing okay. Another little banana there that isn't doing fantastic. That was one that I transplanted from some other banana bunch that I had, and it's surviving but not thriving. This is thriving. Okay, so this is our banana circle, and if you saw the video that we did when we built this, you can see it's doing quite well. So those bananas are very happy, and it works just as they say. You know, I haven't had to water anything, and we keep throwing mulch and such into the center there, and it's doing. Over here we've got some sea grapes, we've got a starfruit, more sea grapes, we've got a firebush over there, and an Inga right there. And this section here is going to be mainly just decorative stuff. I haven't really dealt with it, just kind of got it started building it and haven't really done anything, and now the grasses are starting to grow in there, so I've got to deal with that soon. This section over here, we've got a bunch more Mexican sunflower growing. There's a little baby chaya over there, and there's some pumpkin on the ground there. But mainly this is to grow some Mexican sunflower for chop and drop. That Mexican sunflower is about maybe 6 months old. It doesn't get a ton of sun in this spot, so it hasn't grown real fast, but it's doing just fine. Let's see, here we've got some pigeon pea, and we have a bunch of roselles along the ground here. Back there we got another chaya there, and there's some cassava growing along the back of this, right next to the forest here. Over here on the corner here, this is some of the society garlic. We got a milkweed. There's a fig here, which has been here for a couple of years, and I've never really treated it great, so it doesn't really do great. A bunch more roselle in here. These are all just self-grown from last year's seeds that dropped. They just grew themselves right back. There is some blueberries in here. We just harvested the blueberries off of it, so you don't see any fruit on there right now. We do have a bunch of calyxes coming there on the roselles. That there is an orange tree. That's one that was on the property when we moved here. Oranges don't taste great. It's probably not a good variety, but it's there. I need to someday cut it off and graft something better on there. Let's see, so looking back here at this corner, we'll turn back around here. There's those pigeon peas. There's some more sea grape there. There's a bunch of katuk in the back. There is moringa right there, and more katuk. There is some sweet potato growing on the ground there. Oh, more roselle, lots more roselle. And I meant to show you this. So along the ground here, we have some of the, what do you call it? Sunshine mimosa. So that sunshine mimosa, it took quite a while to get going, but it is now taking off and starting to do its job. So very happy about that. But yeah, that stuff took a long time to get going. Okay, moving along here. In this section here, we've got a bunch of lemongrass right there. There is some ginger down there. And we got a Barbados cherry here in the middle. All this stuff needs to be pruned back. I haven't touched this area, any of this in months. Over here we have some more of this ginger. It's called a torch ginger. So it puts off a real cool, pretty flower. There's some cranberry hibiscus in there. And over here we have strawberry tree, one of my favorite things. Love those. Those are awesome. Got a ton of fruit on it, just nothing really ripe right now. Then I think that's the Fakahatchee grass. There's a few other various little plants down there, and then some grass is growing up in there. The Barbados cherry, we're getting a lot of fruit off of that right now. Just tons of fruit on it. You can see those coming in there. There's a bunch coming on. And we have another Barbados cherry right next to it here. Give you some perspective. So another Barbados cherry there. This one's also got a ton of fruit growing on it. Just tons of it. We have ground cherry on the bottom there. Haven't gotten anything off of that yet. Then over here we have firebush. We got some big bananas. Okay, more roselles. This is canna. Then we got more Mexican sunflower here. More roselles, some African tree basil. There is some cinnamon basil down there. More pigeon pea here. Coming around the bend here, more banana, more roselles. Those roselles, I tell you, they just they're prolific. More cinnamon basil. There is some pumpkin vine, another banana, getting a little thick back here. There's the other side of that canna that we were looking at. The other side of the firebush and the Barbados cherry. Then here we have a giant Mexican sunflower. Let's sneak on through here. Okay, coming over here, we have an elderberry there. Elderberry back in the back there. That is a Egyptian spinach right here in front of us. Milkweed. We got a couple of aloes. This one here is mulberry. Moringa. And then that big Mexican sunflower. We need to get in there and trim that back. Then there is some more elderberry starting on the ground. There's some shampoo ginger along the back there. Let's walk around back there. All right, let's see. This here is a peanut butter tree. That's a Simpson stopper there. And here is some Sisu spinach. Seems to be doing fine back here. All right, turning around over here, this whole big mess. This is, there's some sun hemp, there is fava bean, and there is sorghum grass in there. And let's see, there we got more bananas. We got those two big tall ones, those are mulberries. There is pumpkin vine along the ground here, which we just got a couple of pumpkins off of. There's one sitting on the ground back over there we got to pick up. Let's see, down here on the ground we have some cinnamon basil, and there is in here some Everglade tomato. This here is a June plum, which I don't know much about the June plum. I'm kind of curious about that. But we got it nonetheless. More bananas, and there's some more lemongrass back there. Right here we have a macadamia, a bunch of African tree basil, which is doing just amazing. I mean, that stuff just grows like crazy. There is a peach tree here. Let's see. Back in the mix of all of that mess, there is another banana. There's a macadamia back. I'm sorry, not a macadamia. There's another mulberry back in there somewhere. Soon here, before too long, I got to cut all that mess down and make some compost out of it. There is down here a red canna down in the mix in this mess. Okay, coming along here, let's see, we got a pomegranate right there. This was a persimmon that did not make it. Wax myrtle. There's another peach over there. Back behind there you can see some more of that Mexican sunflower. And there's more Mexican sunflower back over there. What do we got here? Here we have more African tree basil. And there is a plum tree right there. This one right here doesn't make it. This is a black cherry. Didn't quite make it. Over here we have a Stella black cherry. More basil. Here we have a sweet almond. And we got some stuff growing in the beds there. Let's see, that's a jaboticaba in that pot. We need to get that thing transplanted. More firebush right there. Here we have a key lime. Just starting to put on some flowers, that's nice. With some basil growing along there. And this one here is a sugar apple. Here we have a loquat, some more pigeon pea, and some more Everglades tomato. Over here we have a longan. The longan has, well, it's interesting. Hasn't put out a lot of new growth, but hasn't really died at all either. So we'll see how that does. Over here we've got sweet potato taking over like crazy on our raspberry vines, or blackberry vines. They haven't been able to do so well this year because I've just let the sweet potato go like crazy. And we got some more blackberries over here. There's some collard greens there. There's another little orange tree. Here we have a passion fruit growing up the tree here. And we had a bunch of fruit on it. I don't know if somebody's came and harvested them yet. Let's see. Looks like somebody came and got all the passion fruits off of there. We had a bunch of fruit on it recently. Now, an interesting thing about the passion fruit that I learned is that it flowers at night and or blossoms at night. And so somebody suggested having a nighttime blossoming plant with it. So this is a jasmine here. I got two jasmines, and one of them they said is nighttime blossoming. I'm not for sure which one yet because I haven't come out and looked at it at night, but I think it's this one here. The idea being that if you have something else that's blossoming at night, that'll help to bring in nighttime pollinators. Over here we have a bay tree, and we have another mulberry. Over here we have some Malabar spinach growing up on this trellis here, and that seems to be doing great where it's at. It's been very happy. I haven't done anything with it. Don't even have to water it. It just does fine. Some more of these Mexican sunflower over here. We come along here and we've got, let's see, we have another mulberry. We have a lemon tree that is putting out just the most massive lemons. These things are just huge. They're as big as my hand. And so I don't know if they're going to be any good or not with them being that big. But let's see. We got some Suriname cherry here. Sweet potato along the ground. So we got some guava. There's a tea bush there. More Suriname cherry. The rosemary. That's been there for about 4 years. That rosemary just keeps on ticking. More bananas. Over here we've got the got grapes. We got muscadine grapes, and haven't really done much to maintain these this year, so they look a mess. We did get a few grapes off of them this year, but not a huge harvest. Let's see. Oh, one thing you'll notice here is I have a lot of these palm fronds that we throw on the ground. That's a little trick I've learned here in Florida. If you're trying to stop grass as much as possible from growing, and especially where you have these aggressive grasses, just throw on tons and tons and tons of that palm frond, and it will help to suppress everything. It does a great job. Then we got over here in this area, we have, well, there's some oregano there. We have comfrey around the perimeter here. There's a little miracle bush there. Hasn't really done much of all. It's lackluster performance, I would say. Longevity spinach. There's a kale there that for whatever reason, this thing just doesn't want to die. It doesn't recognize that it's a cold weather plant. It just decides it wants to live all year long, so whatever. And we'll let it live. That's a bird of paradise. There's another bird of paradise over here. And we have some more rosemary, some more oregano, bunch more sweet potato growing underneath this oak tree here. Underneath the oak tree, it doesn't produce a lot as far as potatoes, but it does do a good job of being a nice ground cover. And of course, if you want to eat the leaves and the shoots, then you can do that too. We got lavender there, more African tree spinach. And that's going to be about it for the food forest here. It's been a few months, so a lot has changed. And it's not that I've done a lot, but just things have actually started to grow and take off. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed the tour. We'll see you next time. Here's a quick shot from a distance. You can see we got, you know, piles of wood chips and soil there, but you know, kind of a decent shot from a distance here what this whole thing looks like.